another thing that takes so long to unpack, but I'll make it quick. And this is going to be very devastating, but just follow along with me. And I ask your listeners to just listen to it slow and clear.
Mm-hmm.
There already been problems in Will and Jada's relationship with Jada's attitude and disrespect of Will, and her committing adultery with multiple men.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've known about that for some time. There have been rumors about both of them, you know, sharing partners and having an open marriage, essentially. And she even come out and publicly, you know, shamed Will, really, by admitting that that she was involved in some kind of quote unquote entanglement. So we know about that.
Now, be it that they share sexual partners sometime, where other people call it swinging or whatever. But in Will's mind, you know, that's an understanding that they have. So if they choose to bring in another man or another woman in their relationship, that where after that's done, that's where it ends, right? And Jada would go outside of that, of having sex with other people, and that would destroy Will, right? And, you know, when Jada goes into her rants on Will, you know, she tells him he got a little dick, he can't fuck and all, like, that begins to chip at a man's soul. That hurts.
Oh,
like,
my
it's
God.
like getting, like a slave getting whipped for your woman to say that you can't please her, or, you know.
So according to you saw her say that Will Smith had a small dick?
Oh, yeah. Oh, when she get, listen, a lot of people have, I mean, Jada has said worse. Right? Jada has said worse because she's out of control and Will cannot control her. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, and at this point, you know, I would have conversations with Will and I see the decay. I'm not working with him at this time, but I'm still his friend. I'm at all the events.
Yeah.
You can look on Instagram, hugging me, be this.
Yeah, and you can see them here. Brother Bilal was Will Smith's former assistant and estranged friend. Now they were very good friends, but according to Bilal, due to Jada's controlling behavior, she has alienated all of Will's friends and brought in her friends. So this guy, Brother Bilal, is now like on the outside.
My guy, all this kind of stuff, right? But I know not to say nothing because years ago I tried to say, yo, this chick is playing, like, you a trick. Like, I didn't say it like that, but essentially I'm saying, Will, like, you know, you buying a Ferrari, shopping sprees, getting private jets, and you just came from being bankrupt and you trying to impress this girl and about to go through a divorce. And you spending all this money trying to impress this chick that's from Baltimore, that's obviously promiscuous. Like, dude, get it together. And you know, I've been there before too. It's like sometimes when a woman is just really good in bed, it take a mental thing to shake that, to say, yo, this chick not, like, I'm cohabitating with a woman that I shouldn't be cohabitating with. And this is something that maybe just the men audience is going to understand. Like, you got to shake that thing.
No, I don't think it's just a man thing. I mean, you know, you're just getting a lot of serotonin, you know, every time. So that you can be, I believe that you can become kind of addicted to that. And it makes sense that you would disregard red flags. It does. It makes sense. Like, you know, sometimes you got to just get out of that, you know what you call it, like being hypnotized, okay? Like, you got to break yourself out of it to really see things for what they are. Like, look what you're living. Like, okay, you know, part of the day is great. You know, an hour or two, whatever. But like the rest of the time,
because they're controlling you physically. But Jada being a slick, you know, Baltimore chick and having the tutelage of pimps and hustlers and they giving her the game how to succeed on some sly shit.
And that's true. She actually did an interview with Diary of a CEO. What a great channel that is. He interviews a lot of different people. And she talked about her upbringing and how she was part of a gang. And she was dealing drugs, and she had a gun and everything. So, yeah, I mean, if she was around pimps, especially, she's going to learn how to hustle. And Will Smith, being from Philadelphia, he always had like kind of a clean-cut image way back in the day, with the TV show that he was on and his little music group, I was never a Will Smith music fan because I was a hip-hop head for real. And to me, he was more like, for the suburban masses. Now, I lived in suburbia growing up. I did. I'm not some street girl or anything, but I just liked harder hitting hip hop than what he was putting out. But she tells her whole story. I mean, yeah, she definitely lived through stuff.
And I see her applying this game because I'm from the street to my guy. But he's so, I want her and, she the baddest chick and so forth and so on, that he not paying attention to nothing. Nothing. Man, he cussed me out so bad. Tell me to stay the fuck out of his bed. He ain't never talked to me like that. Ever. And I was just, ever since then, listen, nothing. Even when he hit me and said, he had thoughts of suicide and all that kind of stuff. But let me go back into the story because this gets really deep. So when I hear her talk to him like that, I can understand, because sometimes you can beat a person so much that they fall into submission. And that is where Will is at,
Wow.
And, she would say things like, yeah, I'm going to put that strap on. I'm going to put my Timbs boots, baseball cap and strap on and teach you a lesson.
Oh. What?
Serious.
What?
Yo, this is the number one actor in Hollywood.
I can see it, though.
I can't even understand it.
I could see it.
But now I have a greater understanding.
Wow.
Because she took his pride away. He didn't think he was worthy. He didn't think.
I know he said he had had a sex therapist because he was determined to please Jada sexually.
Let me just say.
When he talked about that, I said, "What you mean you was determined with everything in you to please Jada sexually?"
Let me say that to you, Sister Tasha.
Sister Tasha. So, my personal belief really is that if you're not compatible with somebody, you're not compatible. And learning different skills or different techniques isn't going to make you sexually compatible with somebody. Either you are or you aren't. Either it's there or it's not. Because even if somebody isn't particularly skilled or experienced, the passion between you, the chemistry, you'll figure it out. You'll figure it out. So he was going to a sex therapist to try to learn how to please her. I mean, she wasn't only wearing the pants in this relationship. She was wearing the Timbs. The Timbs. She was putting Timbs on and a strap on, she said. I mean, can you see it though? Can you picture it? I can.
If a woman is used to something the size of a baby leg and you come in with a pinky toe, she not gonna be satisfied.
Oh.
So you saying Will do got a small dick?
I don't know, but I'm just saying, I am saying
he doesn't know. Clearly he knows. Now, I don't like the fact that he's, you could compare it to a lot of different things. I don't like that he's saying the size of a baby's leg. I don't know. I don't like that. I'm sure he could have thought of something else.
To you, if a woman is used to something the size of a baby leg and you come in with a pinky toe, there's nothing you can do to please her. You can buy her 80 cars. You can get her 80 private jets. If she's itching for that baby toe, if she's itching for that baby leg, she want that baby leg. And if she used to getting the baby leg and you ain't bringing the baby leg, whether you the number one star in Hollywood, whether you buy her a big mansion, you give her access to money, she gonna go get that baby leg. Period.
So who do you know according to you now, that Jada slept with?
Well, it's some celebrity people, and I wouldn't throw them under the bus because they haven't done anything to me. The reason why, and not that I'm even throwing them under the bus, So really quick, so back to the thing about the book. When Will didn't come to my defense, I lost a lot of money. I lost a lot of clients, and I hired a lawyer. And, Will lawyer called me, a guy by the name of Ken Hertz, who is a piece of shit, who is against our people. And then he tried to come in a situation and kind of threaten me. But that didn't work. I kept on. When the slap happened, they asked me, please let us get through this, right? Because imagine if I would have came out with all this stuff doing.
And he's referring to when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock at some award show or something. Because Chris Rock was on stage, he made a joke about Jada's hair or whatever. She's always had short cropped hair, like as long as I've known her as an actress way back in the day. I mean, way back. And apparently Will took some offense, whatever. He marched up. It looked totally staged, but I'm sure you remember it. It was absolutely everywhere. So Brother Bilal is saying, like, yeah, after the slap and everything, he basically, he took a break. He didn't want to pressure them. They were going through a lot, apparently.
A slap. And then even though Will is not being my friend and allowing Jada to just crush me, right? I just didn't have the heart to do it after that slap situation. I mean, I really must say, when I made Salat, sometimes I would cry, right? To see just how much because I thought Will was going to kill himself.
So when he says Salat, he's saying prayer in Arabic. He's Muslim. I don't know if he's Sunni Muslim. I'm not sure exactly. It usually does not matter whatsoever which sect someone belongs to, like Shia, Sunni, it doesn't matter. But there is like a part in the United States that a lot of African Americans have been drawn to called Nation of Islam, and that is not Islam. So I don't know if he's a part of that. There were some, I tried searching for it. There were a couple of indications that it could have been, but I don't want to make any assumptions. But he is saying he's Muslim, and Salat means prayer. So you were saying he would cry in prayer, thinking about Will talking about, unaliving himself.
He's already fragile from dealing with Jada. I thought this would be the straw to break his back to where he want to take his life, because Will has talked about taking his own life before. So let's go back to the other story of Jada stepping out. Mm-hmm. So, and this has already been out there, but I can confirm it. So Jada, when they did Hawthorne, Jada started fucking with Mark Anthony, who is J-Lo's husband, right? They did a TV show called Hawthorne.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine living this kind of lifestyle? I have no interest whatsoever in ever going out to California. Let me just say that. So, Mark Anthony, you may remember, he was a musician, and he is J-Lo's ex-husband. They had children together. I believe they had twin girls, and but he has been rumored to have been a physical abuser in his relationships. So now Jada and Mark Anthony were working on a film together.
Now why they divorced?
So
Jennifer Lopez and Mark Anthony.
Yeah. So let me go a little bit deeper.
Go ahead.
Let's go a little bit deeper. So this is a full-on relationship on the set. Like romantic relationship, not okay, I just gave him some pussy and that's it. Like it's a relationship. So Will hears about this and kind of devastated. At this point, this is where you see all the papers are going crazy. A divorce is imminent and so forth and so on. The final straw is when Will came home and caught Jada fucking Mark Anthony on the couch at their home. Right? And this devastated Will.
Of course.
Right? I even had a conversation when Will wanted to kill himself. Right?
Not over no pussy?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. When they're together, Will's comfortable with that. Will's comfortable with someone fucking his wife when he's there. Is when he's not there is the insecurities, because I can't tell you why, but I can tell you that there's a comfortability when men and women come in to have sex with them. Will's fine with that. So when this happened, like Will kind of went crazy. They would talk about the divorce rumors and so forth.
Now, a lot of this talk is a trigger warning, okay? But especially coming up right now for anyone who has witnessed domestic abuse, if you have been a survivor of domestic violence, you may want to either skip this part or just brace yourself.
And so on. It was big crisis management. Many people tell you Will was driving around California. I mean, he's gone. He brought Dwayne a club called Zen Lounge, and Will would come in there and just be drinking and like this wasn't the Will. And one of the things that Jada has over him, Will lost it and beat the shit out of Jada. I mean, beat the dog shit out of her. That so bad that they had to make a makeshift hospital in their home so that it couldn't get out to the public. So that pain of Will seeing Jada fucking Mark Anthony on their couch in their home, right? Because he know they were already fucking on the set. This is fact. He just couldn't take it, and he whipped her ass.
Well, though, I mean, there is a defense in law, like a crime of passion. Like if you do walk in on your spouse, like in the act, cheating with somebody else, that is somewhat of it has been used as a defense because it's like a momentary insanity, a momentary loss of like what's right and what's wrong. Like you're just like, oh, hell no. And you're not even thinking. So, because people have absolutely killed people in this type of situation. So apparently he lost it and allegedly beat up Jada to the point where, they converted a room to he's saying in a hospital room. I mean, I don't know what the extent of her injuries were. He doesn't say. He says something about, she had some work done on her face, but it's like, well, who hasn't in Hollywood, really? I don't know. But with this, the recent, Cassie and Diddy, I was going to go over that. I might still. I mean, they've already settled. I can't imagine. But there was something there was something in the complaint for that as well, that Diddy would put Cassie up in a hotel for several days for her to heal from her injuries from him beating her, to hide her away from everybody. So it kind of reminded me of that. Like, oh yeah, she doesn't want to go to the hospital and be seen by people, because like out there, there's no privacy, They'll sell anybody for money.
So much that she had to get face surgery and everything. If you look at her face, you could see where she had surgery around her cheeks and all that stuff. So Will don't want that to get out there. This is another thing.
How did you find out about
it? Is now.
I talked to Will. Will was a basket case. Will was a damn basket case. Like I told you, his lover, Dwayne Martin, and anybody can see it on the records. That club was owned by Will. That's what I'm saying. I go, these private investigators.
So this Dwayne Martin guy is an actor. I looked him up. I don't know who he is. But apparently he and Will Smith have been lovers for some time. And that has recently come out. And Jada said that they're going to sue whoever is saying this, that it's untrue. But I mean, I've seen and heard the rumors of Will Smith. I didn't even know that he was bisexual. I thought he was just straight gay, like straight gay. I thought he was just like, 100% gay. And that the whole marriage was just like whatever, one of those Hollywood silly things, But yeah, so apparently he bought his lover, Dwayne Martin, a club, like a nightclub, and he would go over there and drink and stuff and get away from Jada. It's a lot.
This brought me everything to support what I am saying. So that lounge Dwayne Martin said it was owned by Will. Will brought him that. The Bentley, Will brought him that. The home he lived in, Will gave him the money. Boom. Some of the roles that Dwayne Martin got, Will called BET to get him on there. Like, this is factual stuff. We're not dealing in speculation. I'll let everybody else speculate because they're not from the inside. I'm from the inside giving you the information to the outside. So that's when she gained supreme control over Will. And as you see, she put so she got rid of all of the top guys around Will, that were real friends, and replaced them with her people. If you look at Jada, she got her mom and all her friends with her, a big teams of people, because Will don't want to be known as a woman beater. And he beat the shit out of her and wanted to kill himself at this point. But I'm not saying that I condone it, but I can see how a man coming home and seeing his wife being fucked on the couch, and you trying to do everything in your power to please this woman, at some point you got to know and understand that you cannot please Jada. And you become complicit in the way she treats other people, even myself. So, somebody said something that's very profound. I did an interview with a guy named Andre Tiller. And, he used to be a big pimp back in the day. He used to call him Gorgeous Dre. And he said to me, how can you expect Will to be your friend and he don't even know how to be a friend to himself? Right. And this was in personal conversation. And I found that to be so profound that I had to forgive Will a certain thing. Like, Will don't even love himself at this point. Will doesn't even have the courage to love himself because this woman has broke him down so much, put all his business out to the street. This man is scorned. And, he tried, him hiding that he's bisexual. I believe that's what it's called. Hiding the fact that he beat the shit out of Jada, which he needed hospital care. And there's a number of other things. Puffy was with J-Lo. Will and Jada wanted to fuck Jada. Will and Jada wanted to fuck Diddy and J-Lo. And they were going hard trying to get them. And it's this guy, I believe his name is Mr. Gene Deal.
Yeah.
And he talks about it, right?
Yeah. So, I'll have to find that. Gene Deal. Okay. I've been watching Gene Deal for years. He was the former bodyguard to Diddy, Puff Daddy, Brother Love, whatever you want to call him. And he was there the night that Biggie was shot. So, he knows a lot. So he would absolutely know about Will and Jada trying to get with Diddy and J-Lo. He was Diddy's main bodyguard. So.
Oh man. We were at a birthday party that I think either Matt Damien was giving for Ben Affleck. It was just a little gathering. They was at the Four Seasons. Will Smith and his sister and her husband, we were all sitting on this side of the room. Matt Damien, Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lopez, Puff, Will Smith, and Jada, and it was sitting on the other side of the room. So I know Puff so well that he stood up. When he stood up, he walked and did his arm some kind of way, and then he went like this, and I went over towards him. I know to go over there towards him. So I go towards him, and he said to me, yo, I think Will and Jada is trying to scoop up Jennifer. I want you to stay close because I'm going to snuff him. I said to myself, Will Smith gonna beat the shit out you. Now, Puff could scrap now, but I don't think he could beat Will Smith. You know what I'm saying? But he could scrap. You know what I'm saying? So then he said that shit. So I didn't go back over there where Will Smith's sister and her husband was. I stayed about, if he snuffed Will, I could move slow enough that Will could probably get 2 or 3 punches back in. Yeah, but that shit was funny. He thought that Jada and Will was coming on too strong to Jennifer, making advances.
And I was at that party because, you know, Will used to, for his birthday and different events, do these lavish parties and like all that stopped when Jada came in, like start to get control over him. Like, you know, we had people flying out from Philly, you know, 3-4 times a year because Will's doing something big, you know, inviting all his friends and all. So it's like the battered syndrome. It's like a man that batters a woman. He takes the family away. He takes the friends away and he just abuses her and this woman in silence. Well, it's the reverse. Jada got rid of all his friends. So now, and she got all her people into place. So now he's just a beaten, scorned man.
So he won't divorce her because he's afraid that she's going to ruin his career.
Of course.
And I mean, I've kind of always known that.
Yeah.
Like he's just,
Everything.
let me just.
And I mean, she has been a loose cannon, Jada. You know, she has an agenda. You can tell she doesn't have any real empathy for Will. She looks down on him for real. Especially if you watch that interview with Diary of a CEO, you'll see it. Like, she has contempt for him. She doesn't care about his career, even though, like, she's so... Her ego is unbelievable that I think she thinks that she would be just as well known if Will Smith wasn't in the picture, which just is not the case. Is not the case at all.
Let's keep her happy and quiet.
Yes. Let me just keep her happy and quiet. I don't want people to know, you know, I'm bisexual. I don't want people to know that I'm a fucking woman beater, you know? And there's some other things too. But I'm because...
With Will and Jada.
I feel like the bisexuality people, I mean, that has been a rumor for so many years. Like, I feel people could accept that. I mean, really. Everyone's so open now, like, oh, accepting of absolutely everything. I don't think that would be a big deal. But, like, violence, and, I mean, look at Jada. She's tiny. And look at Will Smith. He's, like, over 6 feet tall. You know? And at times, he's in really good shape. So, I mean, yeah, who wouldn't look down on him for beating up a woman? And like, oh, no wonder she's so feisty. You know, like she's been dealing with this crap for how long, right? Possibly. I can totally see that. That would ruin him, I think. That would cancel him, I believe, if people knew about that. But bisexuality, I don't think people care as much as, you know, I don't think people care that much. I don't know. Maybe it's just the people I'm around. Maybe like in Cornbread America, people would care, but I don't know.
Jada allegedly trying to get Diddy and J-Lo in a foursome. Diddy gay?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know, and I don't want to speculate because it could have been him fucking Jada and Will looking. You know, Will thing. You know, Jada thing to Will is the strap on. So I don't know how that would
Jada's
go. But
allegedly pegging Will from the back.
Well,
she owned that nigga.
Yeah,
sounds it.
And it shows, and the behavior shows. But this,
I mean, I can't. Like, I think it's so funny that they're just coming out and saying it, but it's like, yeah, you can, you know, it doesn't seem that far out of the realm of possibility, does it? Jada in the bedroom lacing up her Timbs. Oh my God. I don't know. I could see it. I can.
Why I might have to come back before the month is this one celebrity who is so asphyxiated on Will, big star, and he's having his people call me talking about what he going fucking do to me if I can continue to do interviews.
Yeah, because you did stuff with Comedy Hype. I saw your interview.
I did
Hype.
one with Andre Teller.
Yeah.
I'm doing yours. Couple other people reached. I don't even want to say their names. Reached out to me. Whoever you can give me the alley oop on, I'm gonna do some interviews with them because I want this one celebrity to come out so I can. First of all, number one, him sending these threats, you know, to me, having his people call me. First of all, I'm Muslim, man, and you already know what we gonna do if you keep running your mouth, right?
Keep the peace.
Yeah, and don't play with me, because people know where I come. It's cemented where I come up from, Philly, and it's cemented on the things that I had to do for self-preservation in Philadelphia. But I'm going to remain humble. But you need to do your research on Brother Bilal and many affiliations that I have in Philly if you want to keep calling me and having your people threatening me, because this guy, you don't have the powers that be to protect you like a Will. Because you come at me, I'm going at you. I'm going to come back to the Tasha K platform. I'm going to say your name and we going in, because people already don't like you. So you keep playing with me, you're going to really bring out the Brother Bilal of 1986 and 1987, and it's going to be a problem. And I wanted to say that. Last thing I want to say, Sister Tasha, is that any name that I mentioned, from Will to Jada to Charlie Mack, who's a federal informant, Dwayne Martin I mentioned, if any of them want me to come on any of their platforms to address anything that I've said, I am available to do such, and all my numbers are still working. I ran into, actually, it was the last one that passed. I flew out there from out the country because some of my brothers from Philly was out there. Okay. And, they be concerned about me being, internationally by myself, which is better because, I'm getting my weight down. I get to pray 5 times a day with no interruption. I'm able to read the Quran more and, just get back onto my deen, because being in California, I've been off my deen. I'm fucking different type of women. I'm not women, but I'm not doing no drugs and no, stuff like that. I'm overeating, you know what I mean? Praying, sometime missing Jumar, which I ain't supposed to be missing. So this.
All right, let me translate a couple of things here. So he's speaking a little bit of Arabic. So he's saying that he, needs to stay on his deen. Deen means the faith, the religion itself. Juma or in Egypt we say Goma is Friday. So Friday prayers. He's been missing Friday prayers. He's saying he's overeating, and hey, we all have our weaknesses. We all have our weaknesses, and in our religion, we believe that God is well aware of our weaknesses, our faults, and as long as we're continually striving to improve, there's a lot of grace. There's a ton of grace given to us. Alhamdulillah, subhanallah. Thank God, and all praise to God. So, so he's saying he's been struggling, but it is easier. I get what he's saying. It is easier to be out of this country. Once you're, and he's in California on top of it, so is fewer temptations outside of the U.S. for sure.
This gives me the peace and solitude away from California to really get back into my deen and to connect to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to be that better person. My skin is shining better, my hair is shining better.
Yeah, you say you're vegan, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And, being 55 years old, I need to, get the weight down. But more than that, my spirituality is going up, because I'm telling you that prayer, I'll tell anybody, I don't care what position you in. Prayer without work is ineffective, and work without prayer is ineffective. And right now, with me praying and working hard, this book will prevail. People will see that I'm speaking my truth, which I have a right to do.
So what he was just saying there was subhanahu wa ta'ala, which means the most glorified, the most high. And it's something that we always say after speaking the word of God, Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Because I'm telling you that prayer, I'll tell anybody, I don't care what position you in. Prayer without work is ineffective, and work without prayer is ineffective. And right now, with me praying and working hard, this book will prevail. People will see that I'm speaking my truth, which I have a right to do.
All right. So what do you think of Brother Bilal telling all about his former friend, Will Smith? I have to say, though, in Islam, backbiting and gossiping about things that are none of our business, really, especially about someone's private life, isn't something that we really shouldn't be doing that. And of course, I mentioned, we do have our weaknesses, and I could see maybe putting this out there, like, having a conversation and it just kind of slips out. But this was a planned interview. I'm not really sure what his motive is here. Either way, the visuals that he's given are quite interesting. So, yeah, I guess we'll just have to stay tuned and see what else he says. I think he's probably either going to be bought off, he's going to be sued, or, I don't think anything else is really going to come out. I think he's going to be silenced pretty soon. That's my hunch. All right, everybody, thanks so much for watching. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.